What's up, movie freaks? Welcome back to my 52-week movie challenge! This is where I watch films for the first time and unleash either godly judgment or unholy damnation upon their useless work. Themes of this series will be based on my very own Book of the Dead. Everybody's a critic, the 52-week movie challenge! While the forces of hell choke on Ash's bullets, I've been fighting a personal hell myself. This gargantuan list of movies I've never seen! Making this series will definitely take a bite out of this demon-sized list. And if you missed my last burning video on Raiders of the Lost Ark, here's a link to my previous video for you to get coked up in all its glory. With all that fire and brimstone out of the way, here's my balls-to-the-wall take on a movie sequel I've yet to see until now.
The moment where Ash is fighting against his hand makes the slapstick in this movie hilarious. I laughed so hard during this scene, and for how it came out, I really gotta give credit to the filmmaker's sense of far-reaching ambitions.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like, your opinion, man.
Evil Dead 2 revolves around Ash and his girlfriend, the former played by Bruce Campbell, who wander into a lost and abandoned cabin. While there, Ash learns about a mysterious artifact called the Book of the Dead, a sinister artifact that unleashes the demons of hell. When a research crew comes looking to learn more about the same book, they, along with Ash, must fend for themselves from the supernatural force looking to kill them off. For those of you who have seen the original, which is an absolutely amazing 80s horror movie, the fact should be apparent that Evil Dead 2 is pretty much a straight-up remake and parody of the original. For definitely better and sometimes for the worse, the film relishes in this identity. On the one hand, director and co-writer Sam Raimi turns the campy and gory delight of the original into a full-on, no-holds-bar and polished, yet highly effective original slapstick gorefest. His maddening camera pans and POV shots recapture the fun of the original's concept of, well, maybe if we just want to see the monster kill these idiots, that'd be great. Okay? Here, however, because Campbell's performance is 100% more badass in this film, and the character has a stronger sense of agency, Raimi equally makes the mentalities of both Ash and the monsters constantly engaging. None of the major characters feel like a dead weight idiot. I'm also a big fan of practical special effects, and these are still amazing to look at. Maybe I've been so inundated with so much casual digital effects, which is in no way means I am devaluing genuinely effective CGI, but the effects and designs of these monsters captured through stop motion, makeup, and prosthetics make these monsters' creations feel so creative and so tangible, which makes the slapstick and horror both more hilarious and horrific respectively. That, and it's funny as hell. On the opposite hand, the chainsaw. Groovy. Because Evil Dead 2 sells itself as a parody and a remake of a sequel, the results feel somewhat uneven. As a remake, the film is simply superb for all the reasons I've mentioned. What otherwise might have been seen as not exactly the most intentional of comedic moments in the original feels like intentional humor in Evil Dead 2, and the comedy largely succeeds. The level of violence that Raimi achieves through his slapstick, as well as Ash's manic peril from Campbell's performance, is so morbidly insane and terrifically violent that they alone make it all the more hilarious. As a parody, however, I initially thought it was serviceable. Don't get me wrong, I was laughing pretty hard for most of its brisk runtime. By the same token, it was towards the more knowing approach to its slapstick comedy than the film making fun of itself. On top of that, when the film ended, I felt slightly conflicted. I knew I thoroughly enjoyed Evil Dead 2, but something just didn't click. It was then when I was writing this script that the thought finally came to me. If Evil Dead was laughing with its horror cliche of a premise, then it's Evil Dead 2 that laughs at its horror cliche premise. The addition of a more experienced and aggressive Ash feels akin to going back to a video game after you just lost, but come back with a newfound knowledge. At first it hits you with a ton of stuff that kills you. Coming back, however, it feels all the more familiar and easier to grasp. Watching Ash go through the events of Evil Dead 2 with a newfound knowledge of the original adds so much urgency and tension to the film's pacing. With all that out of the way, I probably left you feeling like I consider this film to be a mixed bag. Well, to that I say,
you gotta be kidding me.
I had such a great time watching this film, having been the closest I'll get to watching the most violent episode of The Three Stooges never made. If I had a choice to watch either the original or sequel again, I'd just pick both. Honestly, why can't we just like two things of the same kin? Raimi and Campbell knew exactly what they were making, and because of that, Evil Dead 2 plays exactly like the original film, but more fully realized. And funnier. Definitely funnier. On a scale of 1 to 10, Evil Dead 2 is definitely a bloody good time. So what's your take on Evil Dead 2? If you've seen it, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. While you're at it, let me know what you think of the Evil Dead franchise in general. What are some of your favorites? Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you'll know when I post my future videos. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at FilmGeekDave. That's all for today, and I'll see you next time when I newly review a film starring one of my favorite actors of all time.
Come on, take the ticket.
They, along with Ash, must fend for themselves for the super depth. So creative and feels so tangible. Is that even a word? What otherwise